Items from the extraordinary life of President Abraham Lincoln are going up for auction tomorrow. A Chicago auction house will be selling hundreds of artifacts from the Lincoln Presidential Foundation. Joining me now to talk about the auction is Darren Winston. He is the department head at Freeman's, Hindman Books and Manuscripts. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let me know right off the bat how many items we're talking about here as part of the auction, and which ones are sure to raise a few eyebrows and a lot of interest, no doubt.
So there are 144 lots in the sale, which is to say 144 items. And there's many that I hope are going to raise people's eyebrows. We have the gloves that Abraham Lincoln had in his pocket the night of his assassination. We have a piece of the shirt he was wearing. We have a piece of the coat that he was wearing. We have one of his cuff buttons. This is all from the night of the assassination. We also have a leaf from the very first bit of handwriting known by him, which is when he was 15 years old. That's what we're calling a sum book leaf. And it's basically him working out his long division and practicing spelling and stuff. And that dates from about 1824.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, and I may be putting you on the spot, Darren, if I am, forgive me, about the journey of specifically the items that Lincoln was wearing the night he was assassinated, how they've even be able to come to auction like this and not at a museum or in a private collection where some people might think they'd be.
Right. So a perfect example is what we call the cuff button. So in modern times, we would think of this as a cuff link, something a man would wear on his shirt at the bottom to close his cuff. Mm-hmm. And after he was shot, one of two doctors at Ford's Theater went up to his box, and in order to check his pulse, he tore his cuff apart, and he broke this cuff button in two pieces. They flew onto the floor. That doctor, Dr. Taft, once he had finished checking for the pulse, he found those pieces, he put them in his pocket, and he later gave them to Mary Lincoln, who in turn gave them back to him. We know this because Taft writes all of this in his diary. I
also wanted to ask, we saw that poster calling for the reward to find Lincoln's assassin, and I think the reward was $100,000, which today would be, what, a couple million? It's incredible history right in front of your eyes.
No, exactly. And what's interesting about that poster is there's two posters in the sale. There's the first wanted poster, which was $30,000. Huh. And within a very short time, it was up to $200,000. And on the poster, they explain where those increments come from. And then at the bottom, in sort of a small type, it essentially says that another $100,000 had been raised from various sort of business owners and local people. So the reward would total a total of $200,000. And as you said, $100,000 in 1865, I think I worked out as something like $1.6 million today.
Huh. Darren, lastly, I'm curious, do you know what the money from this auction will ultimately be going toward?
Absolutely. So the collection that we are offering comes from a much larger collection of about 1,540 items. So the remaining 1,400 items are staying with the foundation, the Lincoln Presidential Foundation, who own the entire collection. They are selling those 144 lots to essentially help pay down the debt of the original purchase when the collection was bought in 2007 for, I think, $23 million and change.
And Darren Winston with Freeman's, Hindman, thank you so much for your time and walking us through those pieces.
Thanks, Marie.
One of the most interesting conversations we had today is the talk of the newsroom for a lot of us history buffs. The auction begins tomorrow morning at 10. If you'd like to check out the digital catalog, go to HindmanAuctions.com.